That was in February.
That's right.
So we didn't have a party until August. And as soon as we registered the party and the party was announced and we had a party, we contributed, all of us contributed to set up the party. But the error was that we mistakenly put Leonard in charge of conducting the registration at home because I was running around campaigning, Macron was not available. And we were the ones who nominated him to be secretary to the party. You know, I was the person who originally founded the party with our colleagues. In fact, when we told him that we were going to register a party, he couldn't believe it. Because they had thought that we would not get a party from the existing party. So, it was there that he started planning how to take over the party. But we ignored it, thinking, well, you know, this is one of us. We were wrong. And the moment we opened we established the party, we opened an account with GTB. He was a signatory, and I was also signatory. We couldn't, at that immediate period, locate the treasurer. And when the treasurer was ready to join in the account, Leonard said no, he doesn't want the treasurer to join in the account. I did not spend a dime from the party's account. I contributed, including the nomination fee of 2 million naira as presidential candidate. Not a dime came to me from the party. It was Leonard who would raise invoices and spend the party's money because he was secretary to the party. Of course, I will approve before you spend. But when you refuse to allow the treasurer so that we can strengthen the transparency on the level of the party to join, I had to step my foot down and make sure that the treasurer joined as a signatory to the party. So that's what the constitution of, in fact, the constitution of the party does not allow the secretary to be party to the account. But it was something we had to do because that was the convenient way to start the party. And I want the party to have its own separate account. My own account started with GoFundMe. GoFundMe started in March. And I think in May, we started a local account, which was a Zenith Bank account, which I announced all the time on the couch. So the party registration, the presidential contribution goes into that account, and that's what I announced on a daily basis on the couch. And that is applied to the presidential campaign. But not only did I do that, I also shared some of my money with other candidates. Some of them I gave, not all of them, but some that reached out, I gave money to them from the party's presidential account, and that was the account.
Leonard is accusing you of not giving supporting other candidates of the party.
Kept the money. That's one of the rumors out there.
It's not true. Look, they planned an elaborate smear campaign, hoping that I will just go and disappear. People will no longer believe in me to present. That's the reason why when we presented the account in public, it was a shock to them. That's the reason why the Nigerian media did not also carry the news of the presentation of the account in public. Only a few of them, I think Premium Times and the cable, carried the story. The rest of them behaved as if we didn't account for how we spent the campaign money. No other candidate, maybe except Topwell Fashoa, presented an accounting of how they spend their presidential campaign money. We did elaborately and presented it in a way that is easy and simple for people to break, to understand. So that if you have questions, but I was the only one who put my own account online. It's on Sowore2019.org, and you can also find it on aacparty.org website. So that if you download it and you have questions, because when the account was to be ready, I told the people preparing it to contact every person that made specific donations that were not done directly into the account to go back and reconfirm, and they did. So all of our units within abroad in the diaspora, we went back to them. Is it true that this is how much you contributed, so that money did not hide anywhere? Don't and himself did not time to the party, but we paid for his travels. He even stayed in the hotel that he claimed that 270,000 naira per night with us. When we were campaigning, he stayed there, and it would be interesting to ask him, Leonard, how much did you pay when you stayed with Sowore in that hotel? So, And nobody didn't know where I was located because I was broadcasting from the hotel whenever I'm in Lagos. I don't have a house in Lagos, but I understand sometimes people just believe everything that is thrown at them. A lot of people don't question. But I'm not new to that.
Anyway,
And why we want to
I'm glad.
I'm glad.
See, I'm glad that
I'm glad that you're able to clear
no matter
that
what
one.
you
No
say,
matter what you say, not everyone will take it serious. Not everyone will
there are
accept it.
people who have made up
There are people who have made up their
anyway,
minds anyway for some reason.
And it has, it has propaganda value. The parties that are opposed to us, they love it. There's some bad news to spread. The APC people, the Buhari people, the PDP people, they love to think that they have company in this mega corruption business. It's not only us that are bad. If you ask them where is Buhari's own presidential election campaign account, they will never show it to you because there's none. If you ask Atiku and articulators, where is your own candidate presidential? Even if you don't accept that is true. But at least, can we find comparison so that we know how much it's true? You can't find it. But they're interested in this mayor because it suits the immediate agenda.
By the way, now let's move to the next one.
Now let's move to the next one because that's the one that will take us to the conversation today.
You met Nnamdi Kanu.
You met Nnamdi Kanu in New York. That was symbolic. It was a significant.
Tell us about it.
Meeting. Yeah. Tell us about it.
Well, first let me say that I was one who requested to meet him when I heard he was in New York, and he agreed to meet. I'm not new to Nnamdi Kanu. I was actually, Star Reporters was the first to interview him, and he says it all the time that one of his most significant interviews came from Sahara TV. So we interviewed him over the years, and I used to reach out to his people, to tell him that some of his language, his conduct, is not attracting good people to the struggle. Because for me, I believe that the Biafra struggle is a struggle for justice. But I don't agree with demonizing other oppressed people. Yoruba people are stupid. Hausa people have yellow teeth. That is not the issue, If Nigeria is better, someone with a yellow teeth can get toothpaste and clean it up. That one doesn't take 5 minutes, There will be better dentists, And you can't say that the whole Yoruba race is made up of cowards simply because you have cowards in power who are practically not even working in the interest of the youth. So I had those disagreements. But I didn't have any disagreement with the fundamental core struggle of the people of Nigeria based in the Southeast who are saying that they have been neglected, abandoned after the war. Because there was a war that killed people, right? And I didn't have any problem with that. I just have problem with some of the methods. But you find out that even Kanu himself has evolved over these years to understand that this struggle is fighting, a lot of people are interested in it who are not even Biafrans. And that evolution that I saw was the reason why I went to him. And when we met, it was interesting because it was like, he knew where I stood and he said where he stood. And I said to him, look, even when you have your Biafra, when it's realized, do you know that you need justice there as well? Do you know that the bastards who are from the Biafra will come back home, the ones that are trained in Abuja to steal? How are you going to deal with it? We had a lot of conversations, a lot. Some of them I can't reveal here, but it was necessary because the next stage of this struggle is coming up and it's going to happen very fast. Everybody that has a social movement mindset should be meeting at this point. It's not a matter for propaganda. It's not a matter for letter writing. The letter writers are the problem. People cause the problem. When they fight up to a point, before you can join them, they have gone back to finish their own fight and make up. You don't want to be caught up in people who are writing letter and emotions, or you just wrote the letter was well written. Yes. It's a distraction. So that's why I met him. Look, I said to him, at the end of the day, you will discover that we need ourselves. So why don't we just join hands together and fight these people, both the ones in Biafra and Yoruba land in Arewa, and there are oppressed persons all over Nigeria who will benefit more if we all join hands together. That was the day he even said to me that, look, he will prepare that there's a fast train from Bakassi to Dakar. First he said Gambia. I said no, we have to drag the thing until we get to Dakar so that we can start even with the West African region, because if Nigeria gets it right, Africa is going to get it right automatically. And I'm a Pan-Africanist. You know, the entire African continent is not big enough for me, so I'm not looking for some small enclave to go and manage. Because if you break Nigeria into 50 today, every section of Nigeria will still have their oppressor. The Tinubus will still control the southwest. You know, the Ojus of Kanus, and they will rear their heads in their own small. And you have to still fight them too. So why don't you have the one-time fight with reclamation of fantastic space, so that all of us can be traveling everywhere we want and not be trapped within Nigeria? As it is today, if we have a Biafran nation that is, prospering, and that is like a Christmas tree at night, do you think all the poor people around Biafra will just be looking? Everybody will move into Biafra to go and get the prosperity. And before you know it, you have to be struggling with illegal immigrants, kidnappers, armed robbers, because they will come and rob that prosperity that you think you have.
Exactly.
But that doesn't diminish the very unique way the IPOP guys are going about their struggle. It's very unique. And they have a social movement mindset, and they are organized. So people should learn from it. They are not the only ones doing it. The Shiites are also doing it. And during the election, I joined the Shiites too at one of their rallies in Abuja. So I am that. I remember. I know a lot of people said to me, "Oh, I shouldn't have anything to do with somebody who wants to break Nigeria." And I laugh at them. I said, Nigeria has broken down completely. A lot of Nigerians that left Nigeria mentally, they are just trapped within. Let's just say we have an open border today to go to everywhere we want in the world. Nigeria will become empty in 5 minutes. So anybody that's still holding on to this idea of Nigeria as an indivisible, united entity of injustice, you are deceiving yourself. The only thing that can keep Nigeria united is justice. It is not word of mouth. It's not the National Orientation Agency. It's not radio jingles or letter writing. It's going to be justice. And for us to obtain that justice, we must fight for it, and all of us must fight for it. It's not about Nigeria also, it's about the humanity of Nigeria. The 200 million people who are trapped in this contraption. That is
because it's like everyone is trapped right now.
I said it on national TV, Maiyegun, during the election, that Nigeria was set up as a business, and it never became a nation. And until we make it a nation, we are deceiving ourselves. And I also said that the Nigerian constitution that is now being used to operate Nigeria is also a contraption. It's a fraudulent document put together by the military. And the Nigerian people never had a chance to look at it or ratify it. So these are the fundamental conversations that we should be having, and not limit the conversation to, oh, Kano is stupid, he dresses like he's Jewish, as if there's any religion to Nigeria that is made in Nigeria. Today, the dominant religion came from Rome, the other one came from Saudi Arabia, Iran, Israel, wherever.
They are all imported. And I think our president is also important, isn't it? Just we saw how it was refurbished.
We had that conversation with Kano. Kano believes that Buhari is from Sudan. Nobody can convince him.
Anyway, in 2019.
But I don't know where this Buhari is from, but suddenly this one doesn't think Nigeria.
Is either a refurbished one or an imported one. Whatever it is, I don't know if it's stupid or what I'm saying.
Whomever this president is, he's not an authentic person.
Okay. Now we tried to have a revolution through the ballot the last time. It didn't work. Nigerians seems to be very comfortable with what's going on, or they have been forced to accept what's going on. Now we are talking about revolution. Do you see us having one?
Oh yes. My only worry is that it will happen faster than those of us who do newspaper analysis the mindset of an average Nigerian is already revolutionary. They just don't have leadership. There is no, strategy behind it. But everybody in this country today is fed up, from Zamfara to, Brass, from Brass to Efe, to I've been in Nigeria for almost a week now. Everybody I talk to is fed up. Even the rich people, the business people, the middle class, whichever one they want to call themselves, because they like to allocate titles in this country and classes. Everybody's fed up with Nigeria. Everybody who thought that Nigeria will work is not what. I mean, there's kidnapping everywhere. The government doesn't care about anybody. They are just going about the normal business as if there's no country to serve. And they do it with they're very disrespectful, and they do it with impunity.
Arrogant.
They are so arrogant. They're arrogant about this. And for us to end this arrogance, we have to draw a line in the sand. And we tried election last time so that people won't say that we didn't try. But they didn't even allow elections to happen. There was no election in February. They just allocated one number of people. That is why they are highly embarrassed to even defend themselves in court. And it will be interesting to see that the same Buhari who went to court 4 times claiming that he was robbed is now suddenly afraid of the courts to defend his man. Yeah. That's a contradiction here, but with regards to the feeling of the people, or revolution is in the air, I can tell you that, and I hope that
we are looking at different groups from different tribes, organizations, finding a common ground, and then possibly having a common goal that takes care of everyone's interest. In this case, and then call out people and say, well, let's make a demand. Do you see? Are you working towards that? In this conversation you're having now.
In fact, when I start putting up materials online about revolution, I'm surprised at how many people reach me privately. So, we are planning something like that on our own side too. We just don't know how to link up. So, but I think you need specific figures and some involved with strategy and a lot of conversation and planning to make it happen. But we also can't wait for when there is a consensus, because that will never happen.
Yeah.
Our oppressors will never wake up to a day where there will be consensus. So we have to start somewhere. They did it in Sudan. They started on a street corner with 5 people, women. They were singing, clapping. They ignored them. Then they became 20. Then one day they became 2,000. Then one day they became 2 million. And the government fell in Sudan. So we have to start from somewhere. We had a little march here last week in Lagos to Maryland, and we were surprised at how many people immediately, including secondary school kids who were just leaving school, like singing and following us and listening, and everybody saying, when even soldiers who normally would be at the last when we were passing in front of them at the barrack, all they just did was to take out their cell phones and they were filming in excitement that revolution song that we were singing, because we were singing revolution songs and that we want to do revolution before we die. They were all excited. So that tells you that there's some internal consensus already that something got to give.
What is body language towards this? In any way also? Something like that is going to happen in your conversation, Mike?
Kano will tell you that he's past the stage of where this whole Nigeria conversation that the Republic is ready, the Biafra Republic. But he's not opposed to other people in other regions joining hands together. After we met, he reached out to commend some of the activities that he's saying. I think he's following us closely regarding some of the activities that we have been backed upon, and the enlightenment and the consciousness and education that is going on to enlighten people. So that much I know he'll be. I'm sure that Kanu will be a happier person if Nigeria experiences the revolution that brings about the kind of social justice that he wants. I'm sure he'll be happier. It will make his own work easier. And I don't have any doubt that when Kanu finds a real Nigeria leader who is ready to address the issues affecting people in the South East Biafra, he will be more comfortable in that system than create an enclave that will soon be surrounded by angry, hungry people from the Nigeria that that they left behind, you know. Because what pretty much will happen if there's a Biafra nation in this system that we are in, like this chaos and confusion, and the Biafrans have like very great roads, schools, you know, hospitals, employment. People will just be moving to Biafra. They just be changing their name and moving to Biafra.
We will be doing the Oluwole visa, and everybody will start learning Igbo. You know that's one thing about us as well. If you know that your neighbor there, a new country, they're doing well. Everybody will break. They will break friends.
Yeah. You know. I mean, even America cannot prevent Mexicans from coming in. You know, with all their that's right. Marine, deep walls. You know, they have like aerial surveillance. They have F-35 jets. It can't prevent. At the point Mexicans started using themselves as catapults, you know, just catapult you over the wall. Before, if you survive, I heard about the tunnels. If you die, kilometers of tunnels. They have submarine vehicles that innovatively manufactured, fabricated, just moving things in. You know, people have to understand the dynamics of borders. You know, that as long as they're surrounded by poverty and injustice, you know, having an El Dorado is not going to work. For a long time.
Let me put this
before you as well.
Yes.
Because you have put your life,
Because you have put your life full,
even though some people
struggle, even though some people underplay it, they underplay it.
what we have done.
What we have done anyway.
But this same set of people in Nigeria are now kind of making up something now. They say Nigerians living outside Nigeria are those
living outside Nigeria are those who want to break
what
Nigeria.
do we call those who are
What do we call
ransacking villages, right? Massacring people in hundreds. Should we call those ones peacemakers who wants to keep Nigeria? What is your view on this? That Nigerians in diaspora are asking for war in Nigeria when Nigeria is already at war?
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So it broke a little bit. So but
okay. You didn't hear what I said there, did you?
What I heard you say is that they are complaining that Nigerians outside Nigerians are trying to break Nigeria. They are the ones behind the tension in the country. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. That's what they're saying. Can you hear me now? I think we're having a network problem there.
The reason why Nigeria has not the reason why Nigeria is still standing. The reason why Nigeria is still standing is because of Nigerians outside Nigeria. We are the ones funding the complacency inside by sending Western Union, all the money transfers. That's what is keeping Nigeria going. Otherwise, Nigerians would have, they would have stood up in uprising a long time ago because there will be no food, no medicine, nobody can afford education for their funding the peaceful Nigeria that you see here today is our efforts or your efforts. The Nigerians that can't wait for the nonsense, they are inside Nigeria. The Fulani herdsmen, they are inside Nigeria. The Boko Haram guys, are they from the mass? They are from because wherever you go, Nigeria follows you there. Nigeria outside have actually changed their citizenship and are doing well in other countries, and they have adopted. about the situation of Nigeria. It's promoted by those rational Nigerians outside. I'm not saying that Nigerians are irrational, but you guys are nice now. The ones there are no longer having those kind of conversations. They are upset, they are tired, they're fed up. They're just looking for the avenue to, the uprising would have started by now, like I said, if not for
people are complaining about the sound somehow. So it's like we're having a sound or audio problem as well. So can you hear us now?
But can you hear
clearly?
me now? Can you hear me?
So initially I can hear you, but it's like I'm reading comments that says that we're having audio problems. So it's like the audio was out.
Oh,
so
wow.
I think it's back now. Let's hear from them. Just a moment, Mr. President. The network was actually playing a prank on us earlier, so it was like breaking in between, and so I think that's what's affected. Yeah, it's better now. So, Mr. President, continue. We are talking about those who indeed are tired in Nigeria, and they are also looking for justice. Can we blame them and call them those who are calling for war, when those who are killing you are the same set of people we are saying you should defend yourself against and stand up against those who are actually like encouraging them? So how do you now become those who make war when you're asking people to defend themselves?
I think people should just ignore. I think people should just ignore that nonsense. The nonsensical conversation. There's always somebody to blame other than them for the rot in Nigeria. It happened to us when we were in the university. They always blame outsiders for instigating students to. But the people who are responsible.
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just the network is breaking right there, but yes, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Sure.
Okay. So the people who are responsible for the situation right now. Okay. Yeah. The people who are responsible for the situation are Nigerian leaders who refuse to let justice prevail. The ones who are acting with impunity, engaging in corruption, discrimination, nepotism, the ineptitude that has been displayed over the last 4 years. That is what is fueling, the tension in the country. Nigerians outside are not capable of asking people inside to do anything if things are okay. So they better look inward instead of looking for scapegoats. Because the scapegoats are wiser now.
The reason why I asked that is this. The reason why I ask you that question is this, because you are there in Nigeria right now, and to them you are just like a symbol of Nigerians in diaspora right now, as well as the symbol of Nigerians who they will call the the rebels now in Nigeria, those asking for justice. So you can easily be tagged as someone who is trying to instigate the country, the people in the country against the government, right? But meanwhile, those who are perpetuating criminality right there are being spared. So that's why I asked you that question. That we know the despotic system of government we have now.
I actually don't care about labels. It's too late. Don't let us waste our time. You can't help them. They can't help themselves. They have to label. Even if I didn't leave Nigeria before, they will have an excuse to tag me as somebody who had an agenda. So it is their own way of dismissing the seriousness of the issues at hand, and we should not play along that nonsense.
With that, all right. I like that. So now let's put it this way as well. Let's put it this way, Mr. President.
It's a well-organized mind game. You're playing with your minds. Let's focus on the issues.
So what do we need to do this time around? How do you plan to rally us all over the world once again this time around? So in the area of awareness, in the area of funding, in the area of support, and then how to make this a reality, if not in few months, let's say in few years.
A revolution. I don't think we have that many. We don't have up to a year left. We don't even have months left. Things are pretty bad, and people are tense, and I think we have to start from somewhere, like they did in Sudan. There has to be a place where we strike the match and hope that others will get. It's not you are not going to find a consensus in a multi-ethnic, I agree with that, but it's not the ethnicity that is causing the lack of consensus. It's the divisiveness that has been planted over these years, through surreptitious propaganda, poverty, religion, and it's designed to to push us against ourselves, and we can't get over that overnight. But the moment that consciousness rises to the surface, it will overcome ethnicity, it will overcome nepotism, it will overcome religion, because then everybody will realize that, oh man, this is my dignity coming towards me, and if I can grab it, because ethnicity don't really define you. It's you can be like I usually tell people that the fact that you are poor doesn't mean that you can have conscience, right? So poverty is not
poverty doesn't mean integrity.
Yes, doesn't mean integrity. And the fact that you have conscience doesn't mean that you're poor, right? There are a lot of people who are not poor who have conscience, or people who are comfortable who have conscience. But lack of conscience can make you poor. Yes. Because if you don't have conscience and you are not conscious, you will remain perpetually poor. Because poverty is maintained or serviced by lack of consciousness. The moment government understand that you are conscious, the things you need, they will bring it to you in your house. The roads that you are looking for.
Someone said, you see, Mr. President, someone said it takes creativity to be poor. That poor people are genius people, right? That they can live the life of want and lack for years and they won't complain. And that takes some sort of ingenuity to say.
There's a difference between people who are contented and those who are poor.
We are not talking about multidimensional. We are talking about Nigeria, the multidimensional poverty, which is physical.
People who are contented, and you can regard them as poor, but they're not poor. They're actually okay. But those who are poor by way of poverty, they are people who have been denigrated. So the thing that you call creativity is just adaptation.
That's all I'm saying, that there are people who can adapt to that thing without running mad.
People just adapt because they have no way of digging out of the situation. That's why consciousness can help people dig out of poverty. Because the moment you get that little thing that you need, that you deserve, you can be contented. And when you are contented, you can be very creative. A lot of Nigerians are creative, but it's not because they are poor that's making them creative. It's because they have something upstairs.
Now, they don't have those states. I want to talk about security now, because I remember then during your campaign, most of your campaigns were done on the road. Like, you made it look so simple, so easy to travel around Nigerian roads. Whenever you run into this criminal police on the road, and then we get to see them on your live videos, or you travel by this terrible, bad, awful road that you have to show us as well. And we're like, wow, you make it look so easy. Like Nigerian road seems to be kind of safe somehow, even though it's not. But you are from Ondo State, and Ondo State has been in the news in the last few weeks because of this upsurge. The surge in the these criminal activities, kidnappings, killings, or armed robberies, and all that. How do you feel about this? Like, it's now coming home. It's like the worst that we fear is coming closer to home now. So how do you feel about this?
It has always been like that. It has always gone nationwide. I come from the part of Ondo State that has been under siege for a long time. In the southern part of Ondo State, the Joapo, Ilaje areas, they've been communal crisis in the area for a long time. There's massive, serious militancy by Niger Delta militants in the area. So we are not new to that. But don't let us reduce Nigeria's problem to Ondo State. Ondo State is just a symbol of where the rot is, resident.
I'm with you, but how do you feel about the whole thing generally?
But we also have some Kwara states. You have even Buhari. You have even Buhari's hometown, home state. So what I'm saying is that even if we get Ondo State to become safe today, the next state, the nearest state will become the next victim, and then it will come back to Ondo State again. So the situation on Ondo State is the same everywhere. You know, it just happened that, like I said, this thing rotates. And right now, it has made a landfall in Ondo State, and I'm very sad about it because that's my state.
No, we are feeling it in Ogun State too. In my own state,
yeah,
right? In Ogun State,
yeah,
the invasion is real, right? But I'm only throwing that to you because I want to see how you feel about it. Like, oh my God, can I drive to Ondo now? Can I just like feel confidence of the way I used to be, like just moving and the way you made it look to us during the campaign? How do you feel hearing all of this?
No.
That's what I mean.
Look, to vote when we were campaigning, and I flew to Ondo State from Lagos a few times. It was 15,000 naira to fly to Ondo State by air to Akure. Now it's 67,000 naira, and you can't even find a seat because all the elites they can't travel that road anymore. And this is what I say all the time. Like all these elites, I look at them and when they are driving big cars, I laugh at them. Like, one day, the poor will have nothing to eat, but the rich. So if you like, be flying, but one day, even between the airport and your house will not be safe. So you can deceive yourself all you want. In those days when we traveled, if you find 30 people on the plane going to Akure from Lagos, you are lucky. Today they say you can't even find seats because nobody's traveling by road anymore except, of course, the poor, the creative poor.
Is that not the same thing that is happening between Kaduna and Abuja as well? People have abandoned the road
as well.
Train.
That's what I'm saying. What about even Katsina? Katsina is right now also under. They killed about 10 people in Katsina some 3 days ago. Everywhere Nigeria is under siege, either by Fulani herdsmen, Ruga mentality, this Ruga tension, hunger, poverty, unemployment, lack of anything. There's nothing is working. This place has grounded to a halt. I'm here. I'm on ground, and I can tell you that I have been. Nigeria is a sad place right now. It's a very sad place. But someone told me this morning that we have two countries. There's one that is sad and the one that is not sad. Abuja and the people who are doing well and the political operators, they said this is their best time. They're having a good time.
And there is rice in Kano as well. You've heard about that?
They don't see what we see. Even if they see, they don't care. Yeah.
You've heard about that? Yeah, there's rice in Kano. So every time you try to complain about Buhari, no, I'm not saying a crisis. I'm saying there is rice in Kano. So every time you complain about Buhari, they let you know that it's not that bad. There is rice in Kano. Anyway, so let's. Yeah, you want to say something there?
I don't believe. Look, they also have their own propaganda. They have their propaganda units, and you can see them. You probably see them on your timelines a lot. They keep lying to people that things are fantastic. They are on Twitter. They've created their own realities and an illusion that things are working. But they are being paid for creating that illusion. Deep down their minds, they know things are not working.
Well, finally, because we've wasted some of our time earlier. But finally, I've heard about a revolution. I've heard that, the update on the AAC. And then, there's something else I would love to know about, which is, you said this may happen earlier than expected, right? But I want you to probably make an appeal now, because my question initially was that what would the diasporans do in making this happen for those who are going to march and do this in Nigeria?
The diasporans are part of the solution to this problem. Don't hide away from it. People, look, you're already contributing to the GDP significantly. So don't let anybody blackmail you with anything. Diasporans can also organize. Let me give you a small example last week. Please. When we were planning our meeting and march, somebody said, because we've been pushing this idea of a beret. You probably have heard about the beret, that we want to have a beret movement. And we're looking for
I was coming to that one. I want to talk about the orange beret, but I want it to be the last thing.
Somebody donated, about from the diaspora. Somebody donated a few berets, and somebody from the diaspora donated more. Before you know, we had over 200 berets here. And when we went out with it, it made a whole lot of difference. But it's a material thing for now, and we don't need to be shouting that, fund the revolution. During the election, we have shown that we can fund elections, we can fund candidates. We should be able to fund the revolution too, and we should also be able to carry out the revolution in our own part of the world, because the moment you all sign up to this revolution now, and it's trending every day, even if it is trending every day on Twitter, somebody will pay attention to it. The international community and the media will pay attention to it. The government will pay attention to it. That Nigerians are talking about revolution now. Today already, since I started this Revolutionnow discussion, I saw a paper article, even though the guy was trying to water down, what he said was revolution. I've seen a lot of people talking about revolution. Before now, everybody's like, no to Ruga. If you say no to Ruga, they bring another one tomorrow. Let's just...
They're already bringing another one.
Put all of it together, fight it out one time. Anybody that needs to go, will go. People will live. We die every day, regardless. We're dying, it doesn't matter. You can be going around in an SUV, they will spray you so well that the SUV will give up, even if it's bulletproof. So let us just combine all our energies, all our efforts. Don't be cowards. Let's go out there and demand an end to this socio-economic, political condition of slavery in the country, and end it. So that even the man in Kano who feels that rice is the only thing he needs will find out that a better country is better than eating rice once a day, and say that things are okay.
That's all right. So now tell us about this orange beret. How did you come about that? Why wasn't that part of it when we started Take It Back? Because I know orange is part of Take It Back, isn't it? Orange as a color was part of a Take It Back. Was it?
Yeah, orange is a great color, but it is not the color that drove it. The idea was, I'll be very, very honest and down to it. My preference would have been red, because it tells the story of how revolutions are, but we were sensitive to the idea that berets in Nigeria, in terms of colors, have been seized by court gangs. So different court gangs are wearing berets, and you don't want to wear a beret that would immediately be tagged as being a member of the court, or that would lead to people who are wearing these berets to be attacked on the streets because they're just innocently wearing them, and court people say this is our own insignia. That was right. A major reason, that we did. But beyond that, the color orange is actually a very great color. It's a color you can see during the day, even if at night this revolution goes into the night, it glows. So it's a fantastic color. But beret, as it is a symbol that is known all over the world for revolutions or revolutionary thinking. You've seen it happen in Cuba. One of the most iconic images of all time is that of Che Guevara wearing beret. So you've seen it also in other places. So it's our own way of letting people know that the struggle can no longer be a hip-hop face cap struggle. It has now reached a militant level where people have to be on their, we have to put boots on the ground.
So and it has to be, for a start, it has to be peaceful. So do you have any plan in place or probably ongoing where we can start seeing just more than one face, or the regular faces that we know in Take It Back and all that, to drive this? I'm talking about where we can start having people from the middle belt, start having people from,
I'm using this opportunity to also call on people who are watching, because I know a lot of people watch you and are watching this show today, to also get everybody to sign up and sign on. I'm not running as a presidential candidate now, and we need a lot of people on ground, so that even if they take some of us out, they will not stop the revolution. It will not stop the idea.
So how can people join? How can people join?
This is struggle for critical mass. And
Yeah, give
I don't want
us
to be the only face of it.
an
I want
idea,
everybody to be the face of
Mr.
it.
President.
So grab your beret, and I want to address one last thing about beret. You know, your beret don't have to carry AC logo, because people have asked me. You can put your own logo in your beret.
So every orange beret right now symbolizes. I said every orange beret now symbolizes the coming revolution. So if you have one, sorry, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Can you? Okay. So I said everyone who can afford to get his own beret, which is the orange color now, symbolizes the generation who are now going to ask for a change that has never been asked for before.
It's the Revolution Now generation.
Revolution now. So now give us an idea on how, if I want to join, like without having to be, I need a Sowore's number, or I need to talk to someone here and stuff like that. How do you intend to do the mobilization, both online and offline now? Like when people can go to a go-to person or a go-to platform where this can be like connected. The way you ran Take It Back then. Do you have similar thing here?
We're going to make that public soon. The offline mobilization is already going on. Consultations are going on, because we want to bring as many groups and organizations into the picture as possible. And then we'll make an announcement as to where people can pick up information and what people can do, action plans, actionable items, and for groups within and outside Nigeria. Because we also expect you guys in the diaspora to bombard the embassies.
We can do that. We can start organizing that, but we need something to associate with, if you know what I mean. Where we say yes, we are members of.
For the day of action that we are going to announce soon, we expect people to be heading to the embassy with their orange beret as well. Embassy, consulates, everywhere, anywhere that
all over the world.
This decadent Nigerian system operating, they must be told in unequivocal terms that Nigerians are tired of them. And like I said, this one doesn't need to be too complicated. This is something that we can do, and the next day, Nigeria will be a different place. This consciousness we are seeing now, even though people don't like to give us credit for it, it started with the way we ran our campaign last year.
That's right.
Right. Yes. And the fact that we confronted these guys with ideas, we brought out and we confronted every institution in this country. Where it's possible, we confronted soldiers, traditional institutions, religious institutions. We spoke truth to power, and nobody was in doubt of it. And now everybody is somehow conscious of. But the bottom line is the condition that has started this is what we should be looking at, is that we are all fed up. And we can't continue like this. We cannot continue like this. So those of you who want to pity me, Sowore safe, don't worry about me. If one more life needs to be given to just make this place have the consciousness and the free itself, I'll gladly give it. I'll gladly give it. That's why I'm on ground, and I'm not hiding, and I'm not afraid. We've reached a point where fear can no longer save us. So amazing, don't waste your emotional, energy on worrying about my safety. If you like me, buy me a beret, an orange beret.
I like that. So thank you so much, Mr. President. I've been running after you for a while until I stopped chasing you. So now I'm glad that we managed to get a hold of you today. It's going to go a long way, okay? But this is like a new chapter now. It is a new chapter.
It is,
and we have to drive it that way.
I've been announcing this for a while. You've been seeing that Revolution Now thing on a timeline for a while. My own mind shifted after the election, and I told a lot of our colleagues that elections can't solve Nigeria's problem anymore. If you will, it will be after a revolution. Then people will respect the need for free and fair elections. But if we keep going this way, in another 4 years, you get. In fact, the result for the next 4 years election is already been prepared. They're just waiting.
They've already written that already. So they know those they will say.
They already know who the president will be, or some of the few people who the president will be.
Yeah, they've already shortlisted.
They've already known the judges and who will give. But
so
even
something needs to give.
Yeah. So, but if we don't have a showdown first. If there's no revolt, if there's no revolt, there's nothing will change. We will just be around another 4 years agonizing again. I'm tired of this, repeated agonizing
repeated
and
agony.
whining about. Just get up, get up your feet, get on your feet, and get up your asses. I'm sorry to use that French word.
And get things done. That's right.
Get things done. Raise these people, they are human beings like us. They don't have a different blood running in their veins,
But they are brutal
and
too.
Change it, yes,
they are brutal.
The moment they see that the masses are, when they see 1 million people, the army cannot wait for 1 million people. They can't. Even the army, the police, all the security forces in this country. By the way, even those guys are fed up. Those guys are fed up. Policemen suffering, armies, everybody's suffering in this country. They don't go to a different. There's no special market for the army, for the police now.
And they spend the same naira as well. Drive on the same road.
There's no special vehicle for them. No special road for them. No special hospital for them. No special education system for their children. So all of them are fed up. So
even if there's going to be anything for them at all.
Yeah, but in case any one of them want to stand in the way of the revolution, when they see, people's power, they will flee.
Okay, so before I let you go, so that it doesn't look like we abandon or we ignored our viewers who are also asking you questions. So you can randomly, you can do it, all right? You can randomly pick just 2 questions to attend to. Just if it's a yes or no answer to it, or if it's going to require just a few lines of response. I have one here that says Ayako Sikewa Obiri. Maiyegun, please, can you ask Sowore his relationship with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, MNK? So you can pick other tools that you can also attend to.
The relationship is public. It's been explained. After I met with him, I had an interview with him. Just go watch it. It's not hidden. So, yeah.
So do you want to pick on 1 or 2 there yourself, or you want me to do that quickly?
I actually can't see my question.
Oh, you can't really see your screen. Okay, then. So let me pick some. Let's see. Meanwhile, if you have any question, maybe I should do it that way. If you have any question for Omoyele Sowore, the AAC presidential candidate in the last election, and now the leader of the Revolutionnow, the Orange Beret Revolution movement that is about to hit Nigeria again, just like the Take It Back did at the time. So if you have any question for him, you can indeed just drop that. I'll pick 2, and we'll let Comrade Sowore go get some rest after this, or a cup of tea.
There's no rest. I just have a lot of things to do.
That's why it looks to me like, man. The last time we saw in Nigeria, we met in Nigeria. I was like, how are you doing it? Like, I can't do this. Honestly speaking, I can't. Like, I'll get to a point whereby I'll feel like.
Well, you do something, and trust me, what you're doing now. It's not as easy as you think. It's one day when you have a compilation of all your shows and people are using them to change their lives, that you understand that what you're doing now is not as simple as you think. You're doing great work.
Thank you very much for that.
And a lot of even people who are making comments, they are working. We are all working in this vineyard of the revolution, right? Everybody's working.
So
sometimes
I have one
comments
here.
even inspire people more than the real.
Well, one thing, Comrade Sowore, I love reading my comments, even if I have 1,000 comments. After my show, I take my time. Exactly, alone.
I'm a commentary junkie. I have to do it.
I think I am.
But you learn a lot. The interesting thing is that you learn a lot from these commentators. A lot of a lot of commentators exist. Commentators exist for different reasons. Some of them just so that they can be mischievous. Some of them just do it for fun, But in the middle of it, there are a lot of commentators.
A lot of people who put a lot of
ideas here that can liberate a country. From this right side, the right side of the commentary box, you'll be finding ideas that you can't believe, But the most interesting about the commentary box is that even those who are dumb, this is where they learn, This is where they learn, So it's getting to a point where if you don't have something to say these days, you better not go and comment, because you'll be teachers are there waiting for you to take you through lessons of life.
It's actually a battleground, right? I'll go on to my. I'll go to the dashboard.
It's a battleground of ideas.
I'm telling you. Yeah, I'll go on the dashboard. Yeah, I'll go on the dashboard of Maiyegun's diary, right? And I will see 6 million people, 6 million engagements. Who are these 6 million? Nigerians abusing, attacking, and fighting, and them. Oh, Maiyegun's diary, and I'll just be there like, man.
And trust me, since we started, I see there are over 900 and something comments already. 900 and something comments.
So I quite agree with you there.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a question.
It's engagement, and interaction as well. And I tell you, governments hate interaction. They hate when
they hate
this.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. They hate this. I know. So I've got
you have a question.
Yeah, I have a question from Samuel.
So that we don't
Samuel,
waste too much time here. We can go and start the revolution now.
That's right. So Samuel Funom Bello says, and it's a very straightforward question: where can we get the beret? That's people are now like,
we're making plans for people to make them and make them available to people. You can buy and
we can exactly. We can use that to raise money as well, isn't it?
Already, so smart people have already started marketing it without our notice. I saw something yesterday saying, "Do you want the orange beret anywhere delivered to you in Nigeria? Call this number." Nigerians are very, very.
So you should
creative.
take control of that. Then you should take control of that.
Yeah.
In fact,
we're working to create an online store where people can order them. We're just working to ensure that and if there's anyone out there who can provide for us very cheap rates of this and ship to us on time, or who can ship anywhere. Some people have said that it's easier to get in China because the quality of the beret must also be good so that they last.
Exactly, they will last. Exactly, the sweat and all that.
Yes, with sweat. So you need the beret that has like an inside
quality.
Deep quality. Some people like the one with ropes and have like breathing spaces at the back. All of those, berets, as I found out in the last few days, they are products that have been around for a long time. Yeah,
I know.
Very special.
That's fine. So let's speak on another one. Let's see. Another question, which I think I have sort of skipped, but I still remember that. So a commenter said, do you see the northern part of the country being ready for this at all? For the revolution? Do you see it enough?
You see, I traveled around Nigeria more than anybody did in recent times during the election. And there is no north and south when it comes to hunger and starvation. You'll be surprised how many people are looking for freedom and liberation in the north as well. But in fact, if there's any reason why I want a revolution to happen in my lifetime, I think northern Nigeria is part of it. The kind of despicable dehumanization of the northern person. I'm seriously saying it now because even the ignorance that people complain about that is widespread in some parts of Nigeria, they were deliberately imposed on them. You cannot blame a child who is a Majuri, 10 years old, for his condition. You can't, He didn't have a hand in becoming an Amajiri. It is these guys that made them Amajiris. Go to the UK today and tomorrow. Everybody in Nigeria that matters is in the UK attending their children's graduation.
I wanted to say that to Mr. President. Yeah. Today is like a graduation day for Nigerian rich people. They are here. They are here. Even the vice president is here.
The vice president is there. They don't send their children to school here. I think Buhari's daughter, the last one, is supposed to graduate this year. So maybe they are hiding it, or maybe she graduated last year. All the children graduated from there. So the northern people you are talking about, they don't go to UK to go to school. They don't have hospitals. They don't have roads to. They have no food. And on top of that, they are victims of the Amajiri system. Boko Haram is killing them. Bandits are killing them.
Then where are we seeing all these ones? Where are we seeing all these ones who are defending them on social media? Then, if they are also witnessing this,
look, the system. That's what I'm saying. They create a different reality and an illusion. The system is creating an enemy for you so that you not become the enemy of the system. Yes. They are the ones creating. They are the ones, throwing out this.
So they make you believe that if you belong to this place, you are safe.
Yes, the Amajiri is your enemy. Those children in Kano, they are your enemy because you saw them voting in the election as if the kids went and voted themselves. It's all these guys who hide and give them the voting cards, and then you see the underage voters as your enemy. They are creating for you the enemies that you want to see.
You will fight, so you won't see them as the main.
So that you will not fight them. Yes.
But so many people will disagree with you, Mr. President. So many people will disagree with you on this statement. You know that?
No.
Because to them, they are like, we have seen those who seem to be educated. They are not Almajiris. And they are standing up, defending and uttering some of these hurtful words to other parts of the country in a way that makes them feel like, well, the entitled, so to say, right? So they are not Almajiris.
So it's Bola Tinubu from the north. Did you hear what he said last week at that woman's father's house? The woman that died, the woman that was killed in Ondo State.
Yeah, Funke.
We have them in the south too now. During June 12th, the people that worked against Abiola, they were mostly from the south, mostly from Abeokuta. Basanjo, Shonekon, all the traditional rulers said, Dia, is Dia not from Ogun State?
He's from my town. He's actually from my town.
All those guys that are working for the system to keep Nigeria perpetually in this condition, they are all over the country. Don't get me wrong. There are people who have been indoctrinated to believe that the North owns power. It's true that they exist, but they are not the majority of the majority of Northerners are people that are suffering. They don't have school. They don't have hospital. We traveled. And we drop food after we finish. Before we can drop the food, Amajiri has finished the food. The food that we throw away before the food lands on the ground. People are making it sound like people in northern Nigeria are Europeans who are having fun. That they have electricity, great roads, the best schools. No. The elites. Let's focus on the elites.
So you see them join us or join this revolution if the awareness is very much high in the north.
Absolutely. Let me give you an example, because those of us who cover events in the media, we understand society better than people who just read news. In the 2015 election, all those violence that you saw, most of the people who were attacked were the elites in the north. They went after them.
I remember.
Yes, they went after them. So when the consciousness rises to the level that it needs to be, you will see revolution in the north as well. When we did occupy Nigeria in 2012, there were protests in Kaduna, Kano, everywhere in occupy Nigeria. It was a nationwide action. So what am I saying here?
But with a Buhari as president, it's like it's a different scenario completely, like a different ball game. Have you thought about that?
Okay. Do you know that also in 2012, because of Jonathan, people in the South did not protest, did not participate in the occupied Nigeria? Because they see their son is in power.
South, yeah, I remember.
I'm not saying these things happen. Man, I know that Buhari is seen as a demigod in the north. I know that, but consciousness, the education and consciousness that the revolution will bring will tell people that this guy has been lying to you. He has been deceiving you. What I'm saying is that this whole blanket, claim that everybody in the north supports Buhari, I'm just saying it's not true.
Just like some believe that everyone in the West supports Tinubu, so I quite agree with you on that.
Exactly.
So it won't make. It's not a complete truth statement.
No, true that everybody in the North is for Buhari, and as a result, they want to continue to be living in poverty and penury forever. And they are not. I'm not discountenancing cultural issues, religious issues, that have subsisted over the years. And the fact that a lot of people have been conditioned, brainwashed, in different ways to believe certain things. And those are not going to change. But I'm just saying that in the north too, there are people they call Talakawa. And they do rise up from time to time.
They do.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time, comrade. I love calling you my president because I've lost interest in that contraption, Nigeria. Sincerely speaking, but we do have families there. They are still there, and we can't even we can't export them.
There's a humanity.
We are friends.
There that must be saved.
Exactly. Yes. So when we see people like when we see someone like you, which I want to say is as transparent as you can ever get it anywhere in the world. You know, you've shown leadership, you've shown the traits. And when we see people like you, we tend to have a second hope, even though we still have our doubts as well. The reason is not for you. I mean, the reason for our doubt is not because of you, but it's because of the same people who are the victims of all this misgovernance and all that, where they will swing to and wreak havoc in a way that all ambition, all effort will be lost at the tail end of it. But we still believe in you. And I want to wish you well, Mr. President, as well, right? Keep doing it.
Thank you.
Keep in there. Keep popping up on our screens. The more you will keep seeing more of you,
we will.
The more many of us will know how serious.
You too will. I hope you too will keep supporting. I trust you. I don't even need to.
We will, because
I know
as long
as
exactly.
And we will take this message everywhere soon too. You know, so if you're hearing us, like I said, my only request today is for people to buy me a beret, just one. You know,
they were asking for your beret. They said they thought they would see you with one, but you came without one. So they were asking, "Where's your beret?"
One, but
you should put it on. Let them see it on. I wish I could get a beret, but I've not got any beret. I've not even got any cap.
I don't have a washing machine, so they are drying it outside.
I know. Anyway, what would be our parting gift on this platform this afternoon?
Look, nothing more than saying revolution now, people. Revolution now. You know,
we should get ready.
I hope everybody that's watching and commenting, just put it on your timeline. You know, let it be a status update. Let everybody understand that we're tired and fed up and we're ready to move. You know,
so we should be ready as well. Like they say, the Boy Scouts.
I can't take this anymore. All right.
Thank you so much for your time.
Sir.
Lovely.
Right.
It's a pleasure having you today as well. So good to see you. Goodbye. Cheers. Yeah, bye. So that's a good one there from our President Omoyele Sowore. He's a young guy. Why is it so difficult for Nigerians? Is it so difficult? Why is it so hard for you to part ways with the same set of people who have been leading you, and they have been leading you to what you have right now? Like, how is it so hard?